Hi, I'm Dr. Shoshana Garfield, and today I want to help you discover the difference between vengeance and justice, and to help you navigate the waters between them so that you get the best deal for you, because you're really important. Now with vengeance, there are a few hidden things in there. And there's really obvious levels of vengeance, like, oh, I want to get that so-and-so. That's the most obvious level, and most people know when they're there that even though they feel justified that there's something a bit off and they're thinking about that. There's more subtle bits of vengeance that may be hidden in your thoughts, and that's, for instance, gloating when you hear bad news about them or in their lives, or acting spitefully just around the corners if you have ongoing relations, like over children or something, or maybe talking about them in ways that are just that little corner of nasty on it. It's that little bit extra of a knife in there. And all those are hidden kinds of vengeances as well. There's a difference between that and justice, and there's a difference between justice and high quality of mind as well, in terms of forgiveness. Because forgiveness overall, living in a state of forgiving, is a very distanced realm from what happens on this earthly level of interactions. It could be, for instance, that someone's child was molested by someone, and they may have beauty in their hearts of immense forgiveness, but very much still take them to the police and hold them accountable. So they're very, very, very separate, very separate. And forgiving doesn't take all the motivation out of wanting justice or your care for justice. And also, in terms of justice, it can work the other way as well, that wanting to be a good person can get all mushed up and confused with doing what's right for you in terms of justice. So someone may just walk away from a spouse and in the divorce proceedings just give everything away or leave everything behind. And that may be the right thing for you, but just to have a pause and a think about why that's the case for you. And really give yourself a health check on that. Because you can do the right thing for the wrong reasons and the wrong thing for the right reasons. And of course you can do the right thing for the right reasons. And that's always what I would urge for you as much as possible. One of the most important things to understand is that the desire for vengeance is coming from an outside-in way of living. It's almost as if saying, if I can only get this revenge, then I can be happy. Then I can be at peace. Then I can forgive them. Then I can move on. That's being, in technical terms, that's being codependent. That's relying on something outside of you for your well-being. And that is a recipe for absolute disaster. Because, you know what? You may never get it. And even if you do, it still ain't going to make you happy, because it's not what makes you happy. Full stop. No matter how much vengeance you may get, even if you want it, which you may not. But even if you did get it and you wanted it, it's still not going to make you feel good. Because feeling good doesn't come from out there. It comes from the inside. So vengeance is really, really wrong-headed in that as well. And there's something as well. I've spoken in other videos how anger is never, ever the primary emotion. Vengeance is a particular flavor of anger. Revenge, flavor of anger. And what anger is protective. And it protects you from what's underneath. And what's underneath are feelings of vulnerability regarding sorrow, pain, and grief. So if you're feeling vengeful, what you're saying is, I'm in pain. And because you're covering it up with this urge for vengeance, if that's what you're doing, in that case, someone would be ignoring their pain. And it would just be festering under there, because it doesn't go away on its own. It'll go away either from understanding that you haven't been harmed in terms of the three principles of your core essence of you is not of this world. So you can't be harmed by anything in this world. So vengeance is a joke. Or it comes from doing the work of doing the release and releasing all the catches and all the things that are keeping it stuck and working through that and letting that go. Either one will get you there. And there's a particular form of hidden vengeance that I want to highlight for your attention here. I started talking about it earlier when I said sometimes people don't seek justice because they're wanting to be good people, and they get it all muddled up and confused. Now there's something else as well that gets lack of justice and vengeance and being a good person all muddled up. let's say someone's partner cheated on them, spouse, and in the divorce proceedings, they're just going to walk away. They cheated on me, forget it, I'm just going to leave them with everything and walk away, start afresh, I can't believe it happened. I'll give them all the money and they can rot in nowhere. And that in and of itself is a very subtle form of vengeance, because that's saying, I'm going to be the better person in all of this. I am going to rise above the level of that person and sit in my superiority and rage for the rest of my days. So the person who sits with that gets their red ribbon prize victim badge that they can slap on and wear the rest of their lives. Of course, it doesn't help them very much, because it doesn't help them have their happiness and peace. And they have the moral superiority of the victim high ground, which does them absolutely no good whatsoever in the long run. So that's a very important form of hidden vengeance. So I have a few questions for you, for your own litmus test of whatever may have gone on in the past for you that may still be lingering, or something that may be going on now or may happen in the future. So here's one thing. Are you still a good person if you seek justice over the issue? If your answer for that is no, then you've got some things muddled up, and do the work of separating that. Do you think vengeance is going to make you feel better? And of course, it's obvious. If you think that's the case, you're really on the wrong track. And to ask yourself, are you really clear that what you're pursuing is justice and not vengeance? And are you able to separate those for yourself? If not, go off and do the work you need to do that, whether it's giving yourself quiet time on understanding where happiness comes from, which is always from inside, or really allowing yourself to come to terms with what justice is for you, and to really get some purity over that, so that you can take the right action for you that's grounded in your own integrity. So, very best wishes, and bye for now.